Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Read Aloud with Miss Mannion. I have our buddy Fitz here, who is, as always, hanging around, being lazy. So let's get started. I have another dog-themed book today. It is called Hello, Goodbye, Dog by Maria Gianferrari and pictures by Patrice Barton. "Hello, Moose," said Zara. There was nothing Moose loved more than hello. Hello was a ride in the car. Goodbye, Moose, said Zara. It's time for school. Moose put on her brakes. It took Mom and Dad to get Moose to leave her. There was nothing Moose disliked more than goodbye. Goodbye was an itch that couldn't be scratched. When Mom checked the mailbox, out zoomed Moose. It was time to say hello. Two paws patted on the glass. Oh my, said Mrs. Perkins. It's my dog Moose, said Zara. Hello, Moose, said the class. Imagine if a dog came knocking on our door in the middle of a lesson. That would have been pretty cool. Hello was a pat on the head. Dogs aren't allowed in school, said Mrs. Perkins. Moose will be quiet, said Zara. She loves story time. Moose lays at Zara's feet as Mrs. Perkins reads a story. Goodbye, Moose, said Zara. Moose put on her brakes. It took Mom, Dad, Zara, and Mrs. Perkins to get Moose to leave. Goodbye was being tied up in the backyard. Moose chewed through the rope. It was time to say hello. Hello, Moose, cried Zara. Hello was having a book and someone to read it to you. Dogs aren't allowed in the library, said Mrs. Chen. Moose will be quiet, said Zara. She likes when I read to her. Zara read. Kids listened. Moose's tail swept circles on the rug. What does that mean when a dog's tail is swooping in circles? It means that they're happy. Goodbye, Moose, said Zara. Moose put on her brakes. It took Mom, Dad, Zara, Mrs. Perkins, and Miss Chen to get Moose to leave. Goodbye was a closing door. Moose pushed through the screen. It was time to say hello. Hello, Moose, said Zara. Hello smelled like homemade cookies. Dogs aren't allowed in the cafeteria, said one of the lunch ladies. She'll be quiet. I'll just read to her, said Zara. Zara read. One kid sat, then another, and another, until the table was full. Moose's tail thumped on the floor. What's that dog doing here? Asked Principal Evans. It's time for goodbye, Moose, said Zara. But Moose was tired of goodbye. A game of tag was on. Principal Evans was it. Could you picture Mrs. Esposito chasing after a dog? I don't think she'd be too happy. Chairs tipped, kids slipped, teachers tripped, trays flipped, and Moose skipped right back to Zara. Then Moose got tagged. Goodbye, Moose, said Zara. It took Mom, Dad, Zara, Mrs. Perkins, Miss Chen, Principal Evans, and all the lunch ladies to get Moose to leave. Goodbye was tag without an it. Goodbye was tug and no war. Goodbye was hide without seek. Goodbye was being alone. Oh! She needed to say hello, but Zara wasn't there. "Hello, Moose," said Zara. "I know you don't like goodbyes, and I have an idea." Zara took Moose to therapy dog school. Moose was tested on her temperament, check. On sitting, laying down, staying, check. On being with children, check. On being around wheelchairs, double check. Finally, Moose was ready. The next day, Moose joined Zara in her classroom. "Hello, Moose," said the class. Mrs. Perkins, Miss Chen, Principal Evans, and all the lunch ladies. Today was hello. So I want you to think about what, first of all, let's do a 5-finger retell, okay? Let's think about our characters. Who were our characters? We had the dog whose name was Moose, and we had the little girl whose name was Zara, okay? Let's think of setting. Where were they? They were mostly at the school, right? Okay. What happened in the beginning? In the beginning of the story, Zara left to go to school, right? In the very beginning, Zara left to go to school. What kept happening in the middle of the book? Think about it. Moose kept showing up at school, right? And what happened at the end of the book? That's our last finger for our 5-finger retell. Moose went to therapy dog school and was able to go to school with Zara. Awesome. You guys are fabulous. Fitz, we say goodbye? Say goodbye to everyone. We'll see you guys later for another read aloud.